There's no matter. There's no matter. There's no matter. Is this a song of love? I don't know, I don't care. There's no matter. Today maybe I sleep, today maybe I'm free. There's no matter. But if I stay with you, I think I'm really sure that's what I want to do. Is this a song of love? I don't know, I don't care. There's no matter. 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 There's no matter.
There was a little girl, and she had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. And when she was good, she was very, very good. And when she was bad, she was... The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane, starring Jodie Foster, the sensation of Taxi Driver, and Bugsy Malone, in another superb performance as Wren, who seemed all sugar and spice, but something not so nice was buried out in her garden. You can thank heaven for little girls, but you can thank hell for the little girl who lives down the rated PG.
Q.
Bette Midler, I got your message. A show about a narcissistic bastard actor, and does sound intriguing.
It's very
Filthy homosexual!
realistic.
I'm tired of the sex scandals and the drug busts and the AIDS scares.
Finally, a step in the right direction.
Oh, shut up. I'm kidding.
Barry's call was for 10 a.m. He'll be here at noon.
Barry?
Barry Montenegro
But wait, isn't he the guy that...
broke into the Pink Berry at 3 a.m. drunk and the police found him covered in vomit and gummy bears?
Damn it, Barry!
Yes.
It's a perfect opportunity to show him how professional I am.
You disgust me, you
Do I have to be everybody's mother?
You cast the busted ex-star of a straight-to-cable video series and sex...
Straight to cable? What do you call it straight to cable? I am making a transition from a sweating, sweat-covered bimbo to a real actor. Like Mark Wahlberg.
I need some me time tonight.
Is it because of what Barry said? That man doesn't know
I just need one night alone.
Ooh, I love a good murder mystery.
out of me.
Yes, next week on the Drive-In Asylum double feature, Uncle Spooky and Mike Justice will be our guest hosts, and we'll be watching Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane and The Trouble with Barry, also co-directed by Mike Justice, and I'll be here to talk about it. How fabulous is that?
It's amazing. I'm so sad that I'm missing next week.
Is it a giallo? I guess it's a giallo. The Trouble
I
with Barry,
I think
sort
so.
of.
We'll find out next week.
So many fabulous people in that cast. I was
Uh-huh.
like skipping through it the other day too when I was putting the stuff for this week to next week together, and I just realized not only, I mean, it's got so many people: Brink Stevens, Linnea Quigley, Lynn Lowry's in it, but Rena Riffle from Showgirls, Penny from
Yep.
Showgirls.
And Michelle Bauer too.
Oh my God! But also Juliet Danielle from The Fucking Room. Lisa from The Room is Lisa, you're tearing me apart. She's in that movie. Who wasn't in The Trouble with Barry? Mike Justice. I'd love to know.
I'll have to send a picture of we'll have to post pictures of our signed copies. I have my to Bill and you have your to Sam copy. We'll have to show off our signed copies next week.
He's spoiled the surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to be here to complete the effect, so I guess it's okay that we talk about it now.
Yeah.
Is it too soon to talk about 72?
It's never too soon to talk about 72. So it looks like everybody enjoyed A Blade in the Dark pretty much, or didn't. I mean, it's definitely not Tenebrae. I saw somebody say that. No, it's not. This is
No.
made what 8 years, 7 years after the boom. You know what I mean? It's a very much a late comer, but I don't think it's that bad. I think it's pretty fun.
Oh my God. Mike says he wanted to get Paula Shepherd from Alice, Sweet Alice and Liquid Sky,
Oh.
but she wasn't having it. Yeah, she doesn't want to have anything to do with movies anymore. I guess she won't even talk about it.
She's only 3 foot tall, too, right?
She's kind of short. Yeah. I mean, she
Yeah.
looks like a little kid. I guess it was just why she could play that role in Alice, Sweet Alice.
Yeah.
She was 19, I think, when she played that role.
Hey,
Well,
if you're interested in tipping to pay for the streaming and the don't feel like you're obligated, but you can go to groovydoom@gmail.com, send it via PayPal. Even a
yeah.
dollar helps.
Yeah, even if it's just like $2, like if a bunch of people send $2, then that's enough money to pay for our streaming fees for the month.
Yeah.
And all
Thank
the
you.
other cash expenses that go towards putting the show together, like buying alcohol and cigars, our budget.
Yeah. I ended up I like this movie. Every time I watch this movie, I end up liking it more. Um, there's a lot of really stupid, ridiculous stuff in it, but I kind of like that. I like that it's this isolated house, this apartment, whatever it is. It was a house. He rents out rooms to it. Obviously, we know why he's renting stuff to it. Eldon brought up the best part is Becca has called me a vacant nerd 4 times since that line was in the movie. It's now her favorite line in dialogue from an Italian movie. Um, it, it's got the saddest thing is I really wish his girlfriend had survived because I kind of liked her. She was very she was mean once, as probably I liked her, and two, she had no idea what was going on in life and wasn't even in the play that she kept leaving for. She was a red
Yeah.
herring. Yeah. Uh, so I dug that about her. Um, the music's really rad too. There's some fun music in it, and I really like the driving music where he's supposed to be racing back to get to save her, and it's just this like kind of jazzy little ditty playing. Yeah, Luciano Martino though. How about that house? My God, all those Giallo movies that he produced really paid for his brother. Really paid off, huh?
Yeah, there just seemed to be room after room after room in that
Oh,
villa, and whose space was what? When you rented a place like Giovanni had that room in the basement, like, and he
yeah.
had all those girly magazine pictures up on his wall. I mean, like, what was his apartment? I want to walk through for all of these litmus pieces.
Where did these people sleep? It's like almost like it was a Barbie dream house where there are no beds, but do you know what I mean? But there's like a gigantic
There wasn't anything
bathroom.
in there. They didn't have
No,
anything in that villa. It was like minimalists lived there.
yeah, no, but there's nothing on the walls. There's nowhere really to sit even. Uh, there's that giant bathroom. You can just come into the bathroom and wash your hair in the sink. That's how big it is.
Yeah. What could you imagine just washing your hair in someone's sink?
I wouldn't be able to fit my head under the, and her hair was pretty big too. Like, there's a
Yeah.
whole bunch of people that are just sneaking up to that house and swimming. And also, like, it later makes sense whenever Giovanni's like, "Oh, well, the boss just likes to rent out the place to people that don't plan on being here for a long time."
You're not supposed to go
Eh,
swimming in someone else's pool
no,
or speak.
especially they've set up that this pool smells like shit, and that girl just dives right in. She's like, "Whatever, it's a pool."
She'll swim anywhere.
There's some awesome. This is more a wallpaper movie than a furniture movie. There's a lot of great wallpaper. The bathroom had some like birds on it and stuff. It was pretty wild, and I don't. It just felt like a really. It felt a lot like the what's his name's house or the villa he's renting in Tenebrae, where it's kind of that same bigness to it. And also, people just leave these giant windows open. If you know that there's been someone killing people and leaving pieces and stuff, maybe close those windows up when you're performing.
They had that great security door that came down over the glass entry doors. Did you see that?
Oh yeah,
It was like the kind that's between two panes of glass or something. I don't know. At first I thought it was a blind, and then I realized it was on the outside, and it was a security door. At least I think.
oh oh. I want to see the movie that they're making in this because Bill and I were talking. Like, that with all the director died, a couple of the actresses in it died. The person who it's based on killed them. He got killed with a brick, or at least he's hurt from the brick, right?
I know. Could there have been a sequel? Sure.
Yeah, and it's like that Film Mirage was going to put out whatever that movie was and be like ripped from the headlines. They weren't going to feel bad about it at all. They'd be like, "Let's get it in the theaters as soon as we can."
That was a very unrealistic bludgeoning when she hit
Oh,
him with the wrench over and over again. It was like, God, couldn't they do
I said to
anything
Bill,
right in this movie?
I said to Bill at the end whenever they're editing the rest of the movie together, uh, Bruno should have been like, "It's a good scream, good scream." It's very much the blowout ending where he's watching everybody he loved dead on a film.
What
Yeah,
about
it's
do
it.
you remember that urban legend about Love Roller Coaster by the Ohio
Yeah,
Players? How there
yeah,
was
exactly.
screaming?
That the girl's face was destroyed by whatever it was on the cover, and they have her. That's her screaming in the studio. Like, I never put two and two together. I'm like, that seems like a long way to go to get to get that scream on the record, or there was a murder in the studio.
Well, yeah, it was the version I heard was that there was a murder in the next studio and the microphones
Mm.
just accidentally picked it up, like as if that could happen. You know, these whoever started that one has never been inside of an actual recording studio. But regardless,
It's
yeah.
actually the sound of them pumping Rod Stewart's stomach in the other studio. That's what's going on.
It never occurred to any of them, I guess, that the song is called Love Roller Coaster and people scream on a roller coaster. And there was like,
Yeah,
The other,
You
the
know,
other
that guy
series
that
one's
followed
coming.
you covered that. Rob Zombie covered that song,
Oh, that guy that
didn't he?
followed me for 6 days
Yeah, yeah.
and bought copies of Drive-In Asylum under a pseudonym.
Also, the girl who's swimming, who gets killed with the bag over her head, which is ridiculous, and the stabbing to the hand, she gets really overkilled. Really, she found that knife. We talked about it, Bill, but let's share with everybody else. She found that knife in the pool. People know that there's been like weird ongoing things, and she's just like, just gonna leave this utility knife here. Like, certainly, it's not needed for anything.
Yeah, that was kind of, um, did she know that there was a killer in the villa? She would have had to have, because she picked up that box cutter for a reason. But then she
Yeah,
decided, no, I can't go to the police with this just yet. I have to wash my hair first.
yeah. The cops are gonna judge my hair. Her hair smelled like shit from the pool, from that bad filter.
I guess, yeah. There's
Yeah.
that. Do you think this is the prequel to that new movie about the killer pool?
Which one?
That new movie about the killer pool?
Oh man, could you imagine?
I don't even know what the title, Deadpool or something.
That
No,
pool,
it's not
yeah,
that.
that pool. No, that pool was gorgeous though. Like
Night
that whole place is gorgeous. Night
Night
pool.
Sw- Night Swim. Is that what it's called? I don't
Is
know.
that the Michael? Is that the REM song?
The pool
Night,
movie,
night swimming.
and it's
Night
not.
swim.
It's about
Thank you.
mean pools, like the pool from The Legacy.
Oh, there's also that Korean film that about that movie. Did you ever see that one where the guy falls asleep in the pool? He wakes up and it's all drained, and there's a crocodile in the pool with him.
No,
Yeah, it's just him and a crocodile in a pool for like an hour and a half. They were gonna remake an American one. I'm like, what? They would have to explain the lunacy of this. But
you mean it's like My
they,
Dinner with Andre, except with a crocodile?
yeah, it's just them like stalking each other. Him trying to
Oh,
figure out how to get out of the pool. Yeah.
I have questions. How did the crocodile know he was in there? Were they aware of each other before the pool was drained?
He he just wakes up and it's in there. And like the water's slowly going down, so eventually he won't be able to escape the crocodile that's in the pool.
Oh, so it
It
happened slowly.
Yeah, it's not Crawl. It's not exciting like Crawl where that alligator is moving fucking quick.
I know.
You've seen that movie's awesome, by the way. It's a great uh roller coaster movie where you're like, man, that movie does it. And also they're like, hey, let's put this dog in danger because you care more about this dog probably than everybody in the cast.
Yeah, that was a well, I mean, I don't know if I'd ever watch it again, but it was a fun time at the theater
Yeah.
anyway.
I was thinking about it too, and like when I asked everybody their favorite Jawa, it's like there's some that I will watch anytime. Do you know what I mean? Like, because they're so fun. Like Blood and Black Lace is super fun. But there's other ones, especially like F Jawa ones, like I love Footprints, but it's a rough movie to watch. Like it's like a draining movie. And it's like, oh, it's not that fun to watch versus like Tenebrae is pretty fun. You can turn it, you know what I mean? It's like escapist for some of the other ones, like New York Ripper, you can't watch all the time. If you do, cool. But you know, it's not like a hey, let's have some friends over and watch New York Ripper.
No, I guess you
Uh,
don't want to do that.
no. What do you call it? A Don't Torture a Duckling, similar where it's like it's a heavy movie. Filled with with dummy drops at the end. But like there's other ones like Murder Rock or this or Nothing Underneath that are just like very not disposable but more fun. Like this movie, Blade in the Dark is like yes, it's a genre, but it's very close to a slasher too. You know what I mean? It's like if the killer was just maybe the killer is a pretty great killer. I love the reveal that he thinks that it's him laying on her laying on the floor, and all of a sudden it's no, that's just the wig sitting there. He's actually inside the room waiting to kill them.
So we've got some favorite Jawlos in the chat. Murder
Yeah,
Rock, Don't Torture a Duckling. I saw Deep Red back there somewhere.
yeah. And Mike said autopsy. That's a totally fun.
Yeah.
AKA sunspots. Yeah. I really like Strange Perfume of the Lady in Black a lot. I think that one's pretty rad. Strange Vices, I've talked before, it's my favorite, probably of all time. Why am I giant headed now? Did Bill disappear? Now I'm all alone. Hopefully Bill will come back. I feel lonely. Tenebrae is probably the best overall one though, of like music and energy and whatnot. But Blood and Black Lace is super solid too. I think it's probably one of the more beautiful ones of them. So yeah, I'm interested to see. There you are, Bill. You disappeared for a second.
No, I just let you talk for a minute because I had to blow my nose.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome. Which ones do you like, Bill? What are a couple of your favorites?
House of Psychotic Women.
Mm-hmm.
I dig that one because Paul Naschy, naturally.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't like delved as deeply into the genre as you, but I love, of course, Lizard in a Woman's Skin.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was amazing.
I love that movie. I like oh, what, I have to look it up. My brain is shot tonight.
What are you talking about?
I was trying to think of what other one I really like. I like The Bloodstained Butterfly a lot too.
I haven't seen that one.
That's pretty fun. There's another one I'm trying to think. A Dragonfly for Each Corpse. That's the one I'm thinking of because I like the idea that the couple who were the detectives in it, they like solve crime for fun. They're like, he's a cop and she's just like a housewife, and they have a really loving relationship, which is rare for these movies, you know. And they just kind of like I would wish they had made like 5 or 6 of their movies. I really like them. I agree
Seven
with
Notes
Krista.
in Black. I dig that one.
Yeah, I
That's
love
kind
that.
of is it a giallo?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like Perversion Story, aka one on top of the other. That's a really good one from Fulci. I think that one's really solid too.
I don't think Lisa and the Devil is a giallo.
No, it's closer to Italian Gothic with at least the original cut, not the remake.
It's got that. It's got that dream logic of a giallo. The giallo sometimes.
Yeah.
That's more of like an Italian kind of specialty.
Yeah. Tracy's trying to think of one. It's Cat of Nine Tails. Is I think who she's with the puzzles.
Yeah,
And,
that one's good. Oh, and Four Flies on Gray Velvet.
I really like Four Flies, as you know.
Mimsy
because of
Farmer's breakdown at the end.
I love Mimsy Farmer so much. She was in another one I watched this week, where she plays like a brothel owner. She was in it for like 3 minutes, and I'm like, I watched this whole movie to see Mimsy Farmer show up, and that's it. But they got me. I like What Have You Done to Solange a lot, an awful lot.
I know,
because it's fucking audacious, and D'Amato's cinematography is really great in it.
I like the Raw Girls.
Oh yeah, and I really like my weakness is later ones. Like we showed Nothing Underneath. Not Nothing Underneath. We showed the sequel to it. Too Beautiful to Die. Yeah, I really like that, and I really like Obsession: A Taste for Fear, which I talk about all the time. That's a really good one too. If you're into like post 1980, Jolly Murder Rock's another one. Mike said, "What about mindfuck ones like Spasmo and I in the Labyrinth?" I love Spasmo. I think it's really fun.
I'm not crazy about Spasmo, even though there are Americans in it.
Yeah, I like Hatchet for the Honeymoon a lot too, which is kind of fun. And I like it because it's Bava's really making fun of himself in it. Like the scene where he's watching Black Sunday, and the cops are like, "What was that scream?" He's like, "Oh, I'm watching an old horror movie." And meanwhile, like blood's pouring out of the ceiling.
Oh, there's so many screams in Hatchet for a Honeymoon.
And I also like that at the end, and I did talk about when the supernatural intrudes, when his wife is able to, he hasn't been able to see her the whole time, and then he's stuck in the squad car with her, and he realizes that he's going to be stuck with her forever at the end. Like that's a really great scene. Chris brought up Dial Help too, and oh my god, I want to show that so bad on the show. I love Dial Help. That's one of my favorite movies. It's the only movie I've ever seen where a telephone eviscerates a person. A payphone blows quarters into someone like a gun. It's awesome. There's also like a giant phone, and there's inflatable furniture in it too, Bill. So that's another reason to like it.
You know what I really want is an inflatable ottoman. Do you
Oh
remember
my
those?
god, yeah,
They're like, totally inflatable, and in the middle there's all these like fake plants, plastic plant life, mushrooms, stuff like that in there. I'm dying for one of those, but unfortunately they turn brown. It's really
yeah.
hard to find one that hasn't completely turned brown.
Because the plastic starts going in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing lasts forever. Only cold November rain.
I just say cold November rain. You know what's funny is I just watched the Argento TV show, and there's the one episode, the little tram, which is just about, it's really good. It's the one he directed. It's about a train, and there's like 3 seconds where the lights go off in the train every day, and that's where somebody gets killed within that 3 seconds. And it's really, really good. It made me wistful for that scene in Sleepless on the train is like the best scene in the whole movie.
Yeah,
Like
it's
like
the only reason to
it's
watch that movie, if you ask
my
me.
god, that whole scene, it's like 15 minutes of like, this is it. Like it's really, really great. And then you're like, but no.
It's like the
That's
only, the only thing. And look, Lee's mad that we didn't mention it. We did mention Argento, Lee. We talked about
Yeah.
Cat o' Nine Tails and Four Flies on Grey Velvet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we brought up Deep Red.
And Tenebrae too. So I think Tenebrae is like literally the last word in Jalo, even though there's a lot of good ones after it. Did there have to be? And I really like there's a Argentinian movie, Crystallize, which is really good, and it's very blood and black lace. It's about a runway model who dies after doing cocaine and spraying champagne all over the stage, and the lights explode and kill her and set her on fire. A year later, magazine's doing a runway show to honor her, and everybody that wears her clothes gets killed. And there's a killer bill in it that is literally a mannequin come to life that vogues while it's
I
killing
thought you
people.
said there was a killer bill in it.
No, but it's a killer mannequin that's like it's almost like Michael Myers crossed with a mannequin that does these like poses while it's killing people. It's great. Mike Brupp, he likes do you like Hitchcock? I also Bill's knows what movie I'm going to say. I really like The Card Player a lot. I think it doesn't look great. Like it doesn't like. I think that's the difference. Is like post opera, Argento's movies look. A lot of his movies look like TV movies, and maybe not as like wild with the look, but I dig them. I would say Prom Night's a slasher, but it's close. Eldon brought that up. It's very close. I think too. Like I'm always like the rules of what is a genre to me and what isn't is so up in the air. There's people that believe if it wasn't made in Italy, then it isn't. Then like, well, then all the Nashi ones and the Spanish ones, you can't say those aren't. And like I would definitely say there's American ones like Body Double definitely is, Dress to Kill 100% is. You know, what is the erotic thrillers of the Fatal Attraction, Basic Instinct Fatal Thrillers other than the Jawa movies?
I mean, are Italians not allowed to have eco horror films because we made those in America?
I mean, is Bay of Blood an eco horror movie? Yes.
Is it? I don't think
there's eco elements
kill
in
anybody.
it. No, but it's like the original ending had like the kids protecting the bay and killing anybody that came and got in the bay.
Well, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was more of a business decision, though. They're like, hey, we're not going to open this as a resort yet. We're going to wait till the property value goes way up.
I would say like another movie that is not a slasher and is Giallo is Happy Birthday to Me. Feels like a Canadian Giallo. It's pretty close.
Oh yeah. I like any movie where one of the characters peels off a false face and there's somebody else underneath of it.
Yeah.
As if that
Eyes
could
of Laura
happen
Mars.
in real life. Oh yeah, Eyes of Laura Mars, Dressed to Kill. Did we mention that one
Mhm.
yet?
And The Fan even has some elements of Giallo in it. Though, what is The Fan? We're gonna talk Bring It Up every week until we play it.
You're gonna be solo again for a minute.
Okay. Yeah, and David, I totally agree. Delirium is really a really weird movie because like the giant eyeballs and strange creatures in it. Also, it has some gorgeous people in it. And I like that it's kind of like a female running Playboy in Italy that gets targeted by killers. Um, but yeah, it's pretty fun too. I'm shocked that there's not a better version of it out there. Stone Cold Dead, also Canadian Jawa. That's actually Cinema Void is playing that in their January Jawa movies at the end of the month. Let me see. Umberto Bava is sort of like an Italian, less overrated Wes Craven, and I only like 2 of his movies. I would say that I like more Umberto Bava movies than Wes Craven, but yeah, I think I
You
do.
love Wes Craven.
I like his TV movies a lot. I think his TV movies are really good.
In private, Sam calls Wes Craven a genius.
I do. This is just a post. Eldon, the movie you asked is The Church. Is the one of the people locked in the church.
AKA Demons 3.
I was
Almost.
just gonna say it. Almost Demons 3.
Almost Demons.
Zoe Suave's like, I'm done making these pizza horror movies. He's like, gotta make serious movies. Stage Fright is in between, wouldn't you say? It's very slashery, but it has elements of it.
It's got dumb cops, and that's a big Giallo hallmark.
Oh.
So yeah,
It does.
could be.
But it also has someone get literally torn in half, which it makes me laugh every time it happens.
Yeah, very
And
realistically too. It
no
goes
one has
through you
brought it
like
up.
butter.
Yes, and also all the Umberto Lenzi, Carol Baker movies are perfect. I love all of them. I really like Evil Eye and like early ones too, where it's like they're kind of Hitchcock, but I just watched one the other day with Dark Purpose. I just watched, and it has what's her name in it? I have to look it up. It's actually as an American director, but it also has an Italian director at the same time. Why would you do that? George Marshall directed it, and then but Shirley Jones is in it, which is weird. Like to have Shirley Jones and
Oh my
George Sanders are
God.
in it.
Sean Cassidy's mom is in it.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like she works for this art appraiser, and they come to this really rich Italian count's house, and they have to go through all his belongings like and appraise it. And he has a daughter who is injured in a ski accident and has lost her memory and hates anyone that gets close to her father. Of course, Sandy Jones falls in love with the father because he's an old rich guy and she's a young ingenue. And it perhaps the daughter is not who you think she is, and it's pretty good. It's not like it's also like very much like a hit more of a Hitchcock ripoff than an Edgar Wallace kind of one, but it's pretty good.
I think Michaela Suave was the guy whose head came off in Alien 2.
It is,
If
yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
He's also one of the motorcycle guys in City of the Living Dead, Gates of Hell. He's in so much stuff. That's the movie where he kept begging Fulci to let him see what was on to get behind the camera, and Fulci finally was like, he stuck around so long, we just kept him around. You know, he's in Blast Fighter too. Lombardo Bava's Blast Fighter. He's the husband of the hero's daughter. They both get killed, and that's when he gets his. I fucking love it. Have you ever seen Blast Fighter, Bill?
No.
Oh my god, it's a Rambo ripoff set in America. We got George Eastman in it, and it's about a gun that could shoot like any kind of bullets. It's like this magical gun. It was supposed to be a post-apocalyptic movie, and then they're like, "Yeah, let's just make a Rambo ripoff," and just kept the name. But
that's
it's
a pretty
another
amazing
Lombardo.
invention.
Yeah, it can fire darts. It can fire like grenades,
Wow.
like whatever you load in it, it can fire.
Could you put a potato in it?
Oh yeah, you can put whatever. Yeah, it'll
Remember
do it
those
all.
guns that you'd stick a potato on? It would
And
fire
then the
pieces.
next day, your clothes would be all kind of what do you call it? Proteiny. They would have like little
Yeah,
dots of the potato all over it.
it could happen.
Yeah, it's almost like Chris said, railgun. It's like the gun, and that was the whole point of Eraser, the Arnold movie, was to see Arnold fire that railgun at people, which I was super excited about. And Dave said he really likes Lombardo's TV movies. Yeah, he made tons of TV movies. Oh, what's your favorite? Strange
The
Vice and
good
Mrs. Ward.
Fennec Giallo.
Yeah, yeah, Strange
Well,
Vice and Mrs. Ward, and I like probably Your Vice second, and All the Colors of the Dark third. No, wait, third is Strip Nude for Your Killer. How can I forget? And yeah,
how
anything
could
she's
you
in.
forget Strip Nude for
What's
Your
your
Killer?
favorite? What's your favorite Commedia Italia Edwidge Fenech movie? Oh, I also really, if you like her, there's the new Severin TV movie, Private Crimes, that just came out that was made in the early '90s with Sergio Martino directing, and it's really good. It's kind of like Twin Peaks, directed by Sergio Martino with Edwidge Fenech in it, and it's really and Ray Lovelock. I really dig that. I love Case of the Bloody Iris too because the hero in it, like he faints every time he sees blood, which is pretty cool. But Strange
Oh,
Vice
like
is the
Bruce
best. And
Willis in Color of Night.
yeah, I love Strange Vice because it's like her strange vice is that she likes dudes to break bottles over her. Like what? Like
They
it
just
also
needed
has
some
the
kinky shit to put into the
oh my
script, you
god.
know.
It also has the greatest beginning because, like, when the plane lands and she's in the rain, and the first thing she remembers is like Ivan Rassimov smiling like an idiot while he beats her up. Um, and then she's like, "Oh, what a great time that was!" What? And then they go to a party where a girl has a paper dress on. Fuck yeah, that's the greatest movie ever. Um, Obviously, Bill, you can take this one. I have my theory, but go ahead on. There's two that I would pick for gender bender endings.
Well, we just watched one of them last week, Unhinged, which I think is
Mhm.
probably one of the best because that one, the thing I like the most about Unhinged and the reveal is that the character speaks in a male voice at
Yeah.
the end, and they didn't always use that, like sometimes. But the thing that it reminds me of is that episode of the Alfred Hitchcock Hour called An Unlocked Window. What about the
Mhm.
nurses? Have you seen that one?
No, no.
Oh, well, I spoiled it for you. There's
I'll still watch it.
there's two there's a killer that's strangling nurses in this
Mm.
area where it takes place, and there's a nurse, a young nurse that's sent to a big mansion that's mother's house in Psycho. It's the same house, and
Mm.
there's this guy that lives there who needs a young man who's in an oxygen tent, and he needs taken care of, but he's strong enough to wake up and propose marriage to this young nurse. And there's another more matronly nurse that's sent there named Betty something or other. And you know, at the end of the episode, one of the nurses is a dude and is the killer.
Mm.
So it's
I think you're wearing the shirt with the best gender reveal ending.
oh
Sleepaway Camp.
yeah, there we go.
And
I
that and Dress to Kill, those are my two.
It's kind of silly.
Yeah, but I
The
love it
sleepaway
though.
camp, no, the sleepaway camp ending
Oh,
is
but yeah,
silly.
but you know what? Like you're not ready for it. It is a total shocker if you've never seen it before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're it's something else.
It's not my favorite ending though. I like the ones where the character speaks in a male voice. The thing that was
Yeah.
good about An Unlocked Window, that Alfred Hitchcock Hour episode, was because the actor who portrayed that nurse was actually a dude, and he's you know in drag the whole time. But
I also like
in
that
Unhinged, that actor that's playing the character in Unhinged is actually female, and they just dub in a male voice to it. So it kind of like detracts from it a teensy little bit, but none.
It's not brought up in the movie, but there's also gender stuff in Tenebrae because the girl who kicks him in the mouth and puts her high heel in her mouth is transgender.
Yeah, that's just a coincidence, though. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
part of the plot.
She's in another giallo I just watched too, and it's never brought up. She's like it's a really wild one where there's this T square killer that's killing people with a T square, and it's not about the murders, but it's about how people take advantage of the murders and use them for their own ends. Like one lady in the apartment building where they're happening gets rid of her bad husband and his mistress by using the killer, and then the girl from Tenebrae, she's a lounge singer whose career's on the skids, and she makes it look like the killer almost got her, so she becomes popular again. So the killer really doesn't matter. It's like almost like a drama about how people's lives are impacted by the killer. It's pretty good.
That's fair.
Yeah, even Robbins. Thanks, Chris.
Nobody ever talks about that. They're like, this bad stuff happens. Okay, well then, what about after the bad stuff happens?
Yeah.
Before the ID network comes looking for you to put you on TV crying about this tragedy that happened to you. What is your life like?
Yeah. I always wanted to make a movie, and there's a book kind of like it now, but it's like I wanted to see the support group that like happens after people that have been through these things. You know what I mean? Like if you've been through Friday the 13th too, and you're the final girl. There's the final girl support group is the book.
Yeah.
But like what's it like to do you eventually you go to karaoke nights and ruin it for everybody like Halloween?
Did she ruin a karaoke night? I don't even remember that.
Yeah, well, not her. Tommy, what's his name, does.
Oh,
My Anthony Michael Hall's character. Like everybody else, just like singing and enjoying it, and he gets up. And he's like, "I want to tell everybody what happened 40 years ago tonight." I'm like, "Oh, Jesus Christ! Come on, buddy. Evil dies tonight."
that's
I
just
really want
weird.
to just forget those. But lots of other ones. Let's see. Red Queen kills 7 times. Yeah, and the night Evelyn came over her grave. They're both good. I like Red Queen because I really like Barbara Boucher a lot. So as Bill knows, so that's a good one. It also she's very fashionable in it, and the end of it has that wild like water like they almost drown at the end of it. It gets a little nutty at the end of it. Oh, my eyes are shut in this. I am paused here. There we go. I was frozen for a second. I just like
No, that was just me messing with the cameras and changing the boxes to put this ad for the birds up.
oh
Talk about movies that I just watched again over the last couple of weeks. This was one of them. It was on TCM or something. And I really like this movie a lot. Are you a fan of the birds?
I've never seen it, believe it or not.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The original apocalyptic animal attack film, The Birds.
I know. And how have I not seen it?
Well, I wish I was like you and had never seen The Birds and I could watch it for the first time. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it for a long time it did not have a good reputation because it's a really weird Alfred Hitchcock film. There's no score in it. There's absolutely no music. All it is bird sounds. That's the only like audio that they put,
I have seen the birds too.
Oh, well then you don't have to see the first one.
No, yeah, so I'm good. I've seen Birdemic and the birds too, so I think I'm okay. I'll
Yeah.
watch it. Hitchcock is very much a blind spot for me outside of like there's maybe 3 or 4 that I've seen, but I have never really seen a lot of them, and that's something I want to fix this year.
The Birds is definitely worth seeking out. It's
Yeah.
a little long though. I have to warn you, it's got a little bit of it's not like you could have cut anything out of it because I don't think it's too indulgent anyway. There's a great
Yeah.
sort of like a romantic comedy beginning to the film, and then it sort of like takes this weird, and since there's no music and there's no cues telling the audience how the director wants you to take the film, it makes it all the more surprising when like violent stuff starts happening. You're like, oh my god, did I really just see that?
Jody said, "For fuck's sake, watch the birds." Okay, I promise, I will watch it. I'm gonna do a whole Hitchcock month on the site. Don't worry. I'm not saying I don't want to watch it. I definitely want to watch it. And I would like to see Frenzy because I've heard the same thing that David said. It's kind of his response to. I like the fake quote of Hitchcock about Argento. You know that one is like, "Oh, this Italian boy's starting to worry me." I do not think he ever said that, but I love that people think he did.
Why would he even be worried about anything that late in his career? It's not like he
I
was
don't know.
in
He's like, he
competition
made
with.
Rear Window, which is like the best ever. Like I love Rear Window. I've seen it. Like he's set. You know what I mean? Like he made. It's just funny that like not since Psycho is like that always got used so many times.
Well, you know, speaking of tonight's movie, that
Yeah.
there was, if a Psycho had never been made,
Oh yeah.
maybe tonight's movie would have seemed a little more original.
Yeah. How about these body warmers though?
I don't know. Like I kind of feel like I could use one of these body warmers.
I think you would like Mansion of the Doomed.
Is it like leg warmers?
It's like leg warmers the damned.
Night of the Bloody Horror. I don't think I've seen that.
No, I have seen Rope though. I saw that was asked. I've also seen Rope.
Women
And
in
I
Bloody
like it.
Terror was the movie that was usually opposite Night of Bloody Horror, and I haven't seen either of those.
Hmm.
You're right. I would go for Mansion of the Doomed here, though. That would be my number
Yeah.
one.
Oh my God. This is a Sam Dream night.
Another one with Night of the Living Dead on it, but two other unrated.
I will say a spoiler for 2024. Literally the day Superstition is available for streaming. It'll be on the show. Like it will be like you may have like, why are these guys doing a 10 a.m. on Tuesday show? Because Superstition just went up on Tubi. So
Yeah, we've been wanting to do that for a long time, and either if it was ever streaming, we missed it. So
yeah,
we're looking.
yeah, man, I love that movie. Oh, what's going?
Speaking of Seven Notes in Black,
Come on.
how about the China Syndrome? I was really bummed out when I saw that movie. I was like, this is going to be so good that something's going to happen and there's going to be a nuclear reactor that would melt through the earth and go all the way to China.
Oh,
It never happened.
it never happened. I love that Buck Rogers was on TV and in the theaters alternatively. You know what I mean? They're like, wherever, we'll play it. Kids will see it. Sam will buy all the figures. Of course he will. I have a Killer Kane. Of course I have a Killer Kane figure. Oh, it's funny because the Waterbury bill has like Coming Home, China Syndrome, and Deer Hunter. They're the classy theater, but we all know we'd want to be at the Newington for the Psychic. So, or Meriden Mall for Halloween.
Oh, of course, starts tonight.
Yeah. Right?
This must have been 79 because that's when the
Yeah.
Psychic played theaters.
Yeah. Man, a first-rate thriller, said non-attributed quote. Oh, what?
This Horror Hospital ad is fantastic.
Right?
Not to mention, what have you done to
Not-
Solange under its
Yeah,
AKA?
the school that couldn't scream and don't open the. This is AKA night other than Horror Hospital. Also, I love an ad that is like, did you like Coma? You're a fucking idiot. Horror Hospital's way better.
Horror Hospital had a bunch of AKAs also.
Yeah.
It happens to be the film's original title, which I never knew. There's another title called The Computer Killers. And I thought
Yeah.
that was the original British title, but it isn't. And then there was another retitling that Hallmark used called Eastworld to make it seem like a sequel to Westworld.
Oh.
They called it Eastworld. Which, I mean, I guess there's sort of that kind of element in it, but not
And
really.
Anthony Balch directed it, and you know what else he directed, Bill?
Hang on just a second. The Horror Hospital also had another title, Death Ward Number 13, which was
Oh.
another title that was used for Don't Look in the Basement by Hallmark.
Oh my God.
And there's probably
It's
another title in there somewhere that I'm just forgetting because there were so many
It's
of them.
from the director of Bizarre Secrets of Sex, Anthony Balch.
The movie about the mummy.
Yeah. Which, spoiler warning, is also an upcoming episode of the podcast. It's like I said I'll keep it to 10 minutes. It's like a 19 minutes about me talking about Bizarre with like tons of samples from it.
Every movie on this bill has at least 4 titles.
It really does. Oh my God. I think every one of them too has the potential to upset people on a different level. Like if people get to Don't Open the Window, cool. But like they're probably not going to.
I don't know. I don't think Horror Hospital is quite so shocking.
And
But
not as much as Solange. They're like, yeah,
yeah,
we made it through. Horror Hospital wasn't as scary as I thought it was. Like, cool. This movie starts with a knife inside someone's vagina. Like, oh, okay. Let's leave.
let's take
Like
the
that
kids and
family.
go.
Yeah, like that family next to us where I was like, I don't think these kids are gonna like this movie.
I would have taken my family out of What Have You Done to Solange too.
Oh, I remember when my dad took me to it. He
He
said,
did?
you shut the fuck up and watch this.
He said, we're
Not
going to go
like-
see this movie called The Rah Rah Girls.
Yeah. We're gonna go see The School That Couldn't Scream. He woke me up in the middle of the night once and he said, is it too soon to talk about 72? And I said, yes, Dad.
I think that Solange is actually the movie that has the most titles here because it's What Have You Done to Solange, The School That Couldn't Scream, The Rah Rah Girls, Blood Relations.
Ooh, yeah, it's a good one.
Foul Play.
With Goldie Hawn.
Not with Goldie Hawn. Anyway, enough of this. We've been looking at it too long.
There's so many of them, though. Oh, Phil, is this for me?
Yeah, it's for you, obviously.
Oh God. Come on. How,
Steve Wilson said S, the school that can only scream. That's brilliant.
Oh. Man, I love Bad Dreams so much. If only it had come before Nightmare on Elm Street, but it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if it couldn't have.
Right.
Yeah,
it was
it is.
deliberately like
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Only it didn't have a scary villain in it. It had Richard Lynch.
It with no makeup needed. Like just let him show his face.
But hey, I liked it better when we watched it on the show.
I actually really like it. I think it's a movie that once you get past the fact that it's Nightmare on Elm Street, it's 100% Nightmare on Elm Street. It's like it gets better. I like the cult aspect of it. I think that's what I like.
Yeah, that's the good part.
Yeah. I like all those people happily pouring gasoline on themselves. Wow, what is Terror from Under the House, Bill?
Oh, poor Joan Collins.
Oh yeah.
That's that movie called Revenge, aka
okay.
After Jenny Died, I think is another title. And The Inn of the Frightened People, I think is one of the titles too.
I love the actors that they've chose to list on this ad. Like only like you or I would be like, well, they're showing a John Ashley movie. Let's go.
Wow. And of course, House of the Seven Corpses, John Carradine, I'll Say No More.
Yeah. Oh. Wow.
I have a one sheet of that Terror from Under the House.
Mm.
It really sets it up to be something that it isn't.
Yeah, it's not as exciting as you hope it is.
Oh, we're already done.
Aw.
I was hoping to milk that a little longer.
Aw.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
never
John,
know.
John Ashley wasn't even in Blood Demon.
Yeah, I don't know why John Ashley's name was in that because it was. I think because it was part of a lineup with a Blood Island movie
Yeah.
and on another program, and they probably just cut it out from the other ad, and it had John Ashley's name in it. That's my explanation.
You know, that was a great night, the drive-in where we watched all the Blood Island movies. And like after 3, you're like, these are all generally the same movie. But you know what? It's a good feeling. It's like it's very much like a comfortable blanket when you go to Blood Island. Where you're just like, yeah, okay, cool. I got some other Solange titles. I'm gonna see if there's any we missed. There's like 40. I'm not gonna do the Netherlands, it was called Who's Next? Which is
Kind of
pretty
like The
good.
Next Victim or Next.
Yeah, it was called that in the UK too. Who's Next? And it was just called Solange too. Come Teach Me. That's the other one, but we
Oh,
didn't say.
we forgot about the soft core. Come teach
Yeah,
me.
and the Secret of the Green Pins.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the
that too. See,
that's the Edgar Wallace book that it was. I like that, like based on Edgar Wallace. Like, no, it's not. Like, but yeah, whatever.
it is.
It is. It told we. How much did you pay Edgar Wallace? Well, nothing. Okay. Doesn't that blow your mind sometimes that the same dude that supposedly invented Giallo invented King Kong? Isn't that weird?
I never thought about that.
It's true though. They said at one point he was writing with both hands and and dictating to a like a wax cylinder, and also like he had a secretary that would take notes for stuff that they missed. Like
That's how
that's how
you
many
do
scripts.
BNS about movies, isn't it?
It is today, by the way, an insight into the site. I was watching a Jolo on one screen, and I had my other screen doing my aerobics, and I was working out while watching a movie. And I was like, should I put another screen up so I can watch another movie when I walk to this side of the room doing my stretches? I'm like, no, that's enough. I can't do that much. So yeah, that's how it happens.
What
It's
about
exhausting sometimes.
what came in the movie this in the mail this week,
Oh
Sam?
my god, thank you.
Do you
I
have
actually
anything to
left the
share?
house this week.
You did.
This came from Paramount. It's a series, Special Ops Lioness. It's their new series. They sent me that to watch, so I'm very excited about. And then I got this is from MVD, The Book of Hearth. It's a documentary about a guy that had he's a graphic artist who carries a Bible everywhere, and he gets people to sign it, and then he interviews them on camera, like John Waters and Noam Chomsky and Kevin Smith. So it's a pretty weird idea and Paul Schrader. So God only knows what happens. I'm kind of excited to see that. This is from MVD. Speaking of slashers, Cutting Class.
Oh wow,
An
that's one
early
I
Brad
never
Pitt
think
film.
of.
Yeah, it's so late. What is it, like 92? It's like very late in the slasher boom. And then I went and see the Found Footage Fest on Thursday, which was very exciting. And I bought their book, their video, Chop and Steal, about their lawsuit. And then they actually did a zine bill with Lunch Meat, which is a history of exercise videos. Um, and it has all different exercise videos, like the Dolph Lundgren one, which Quentin Tarantino and Roger Avery were production assistants for. Um, and it has the Angela Lansbury exercise video hints of how to do her exercise video. There was one,
Wait,
and there's a
Angela
Tracy.
Lansbury did an exercise video.
Oh, she sure did. Yeah, it's really amazing. Let me flip my camera so you can read these. I have my camera
Yeah.
got flipped. Sorry, I know. There's the of course the Linnea's horror workout, and this is the OJ Maximum Fitness with men for men with
Oh man,
outtakes. Yeah.
that
There's a
didn't
lot
age.
of actors in. Huh?
I said that didn't age well.
No, not at all. There's wait, there's one really good horror one in here that I wanted to find. Oh, there's the Lorenzo Lamas karate workout. And this is a beautiful zine though, full color, and this I love this one. The Arnold Schwarzenegger one, and they didn't even try to spell Schwarzenegger right. It's like an official VHS release. And Sid Caesar's Shape Up. There's the Marky Mark workout with Toya Jackson, the Soap Star workout with your favorite soap stars, fitness walking with Sally Struthers. I need that one for my stuff. There it is, Bill. The Angela Lansbury's Positive Moves. There's a big scene in it where she takes a bath and talks about massaging yourself. I'm not making that up at all.
Oh yeah, you've talked about that before. I still have never seen that.
Yeah. Let me see. There's the Zsa Zsa Gabor one, and this is one of my favorites here. The Larry Bud Nelman's couch potato workout.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And the Joan Rivers shopping workout. So yeah, it's a bidet and lunch meat did this, and it's really nice full color zine. So they have tons of really cool stuff. And if you get a chance to see them live, they also on their site foundfootage.com. You can buy videos, whether you buy just files for your computer or DVDs. I have all their DVDs. This movie is really great because what they would do is they hate going on morning shows, and they always have to get up super early and go on these morning shows. So they came up with these characters named Chop and Steel who are workout experts, and their workouts are nonsensical. One of the stations sued them for having fake characters, and they sued them for $5 million. So the movie's about them, the court case that they went through. They eventually got on America's Got Talent in character too, and I can't reveal what happens, but it's disgusting. It's pretty awesome what they did on live TV. So yeah, I love those guys, and if you dig horror or VHS anything, like they pretty much cover the gamut of stuff. Especially if you're really into a lot of workout video stuff, and then always a lot of just like weird stuff. And then they had the girl who opened for them is from Cleveland, and she used to have a TV horror show for like 60 episodes. And so she does like a setup where she plays videos, clips from stuff, and she showed clips from X-Ray and Night Beast, and she made a point of showing Count Gordeval in it, and talked about Gordeval. She showed the scene where you can see a picture of him, like on his family's mantle. There's a picture of Gordeval. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, and you can watch them the guys are on. Thanks, John. You can watch VCR Party live every Tuesday on YouTube and see the guys do their show live. It's pretty awesome.
On his mantle is a portrait of who?
Gordeval, like him in costume from the show. Count Gordeval.
Gore Vidal?
No, Count Gore Vidal.
I don't know who that is.
He's a horror host from Baltimore. He's in Night Beast.
Oh God, yeah. Okay, now I know. Sorry, I got lost there because I was looking at a technical aspect.
And anyway,
of
so there's a scene where it's like, how I love when people, they're so cheap whenever they don't get new pictures of people for like photos on their mantle, they just use one of their
the headshot. So
it's just a publicity shot of him dressed as Dracula, and it's just in the background in one of the scenes, and she did like a super tight zoom on it. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, I would definitely recommend going to see them live, checking out the website. I'm a 20-year fan of everything that those guys do. And Lenora's Midnight Rental is the show that opened up, and she has 11 episodes on YouTube, including a really great holiday horror one. But her show's really quick, and it's got a lot of. They actually made a video store for her show with like puppets and stuff that come up and attack her. So it's pretty cool. So I'm trying to get them the next time they come to show Date Night TV, if you remember it from Pittsburgh.
No.
There was a show that was on after Saturday Night Live called Date Night TV, where they went to Pittsburgh night spots, and they had a thing where you could call a 976 number to meet people that they talked to on the show. But the show was on for 10 years after it was canceled. So they would show places that were long out of business, and be like, "We're at Donzi's," and it was the most Yinzer show because they'd be like, "Hey, I'm at Donzi's. You want to go out with me?" And it was just like guys trying to
Donzi's.
pick up girls. Donzi's, Whiskey Dicks, uh,
I
a
was
whole bunch
never
of
in
different.
Whiskey Dicks. That was next to Metropole. Well, it was very
Yeah,
close to Metropole in the strip, and also right around the corner was Lucky's. And I
yeah,
never stopped into Whiskey Dicks, although we would cut right through there to get from Metropole to Lucky's.
yeah. You were on the strip and on the edge at Metropole.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
God, I miss those days. I thought those days would go on forever and ever.
Oh
Like there would always be this teeming mass of people dancing at Metropole that you could join anytime you wanted to. And then
no,
one day it just wasn't there anymore. It was a real bummer.
there and Rosebud was gone suddenly.
No, it wasn't even that the place was gone. The crowd was gone. There
Oh
was
yeah.
nobody there because Metropole was empty for a long time. Like whenever you went there, at least whenever I went there was
The
never
last
any.
show I saw there, I went to see Knock Mystium there, black metal band from Chicago,
Yeah.
and it was like during an ice storm, and there was no power, so they couldn't play. It was very upsetting.
I always
Um,
wanted to DJ at Metropole. That was like one of my dreams was to DJ at Metropole. And finally somebody asked me if I would
oh,
do it. And I was like, oh my God, are you kidding? I'd love to spin at Metropole. So I went there and I realized that it was for this night. Remember that show Queer as Folk?
hmm
It was set in Pittsburgh as if Pittsburgh had this teeming nightlife that
yeah,
rivaled, all of the like New York City, Toronto, Pittsburgh. It wasn't real. But anyway, they had this night there called Babylon, which was the club on Queer as Folk, one of them.
Mm.
And I was like, oh God, I get to spin at Babylon. And then I realized, A, nobody goes there. It was like it was like a dead night. And B, that Leonard Skinner offshoot band, what was their Van Zant, I think they were called.
yeah.
They did a show there right before I was ready to spin, and they just left all their equipment on the dance floor, and it took them
Oh,
2 hours to load out. They were just taking their sweet time, just like carrying one thing at a time and then coming back 20 minutes later. So like they totally killed whatever chance I had of getting anybody there, and I was so bummed out. I was like, this is my big Metropole debut, but there was no saving it. It was just like over. The whole club scene in Pittsburgh just sort of
it seemed
winked
like
out.
when my band was together, we'd play shows at places like a week before they closed. Like we played, what was that church that was on Penn Avenue that used to have shows?
Altar
The
bar?
one Alder Bar, yeah, we played there like a week before they closed. We played 31st Street like a week before they closed, and it was
Oh
just
yeah,
like,
I
oh
remember that. I was
yeah,
really bummed that 31st Street closed.
yeah. I was really bummed because that was like one of our big goals to play there, and we were like super jazzed. And they're like, yeah, this is. We literally found out that night, like, yeah, they're closing it. I never realized that Alder Bar, if you because it obviously used to be a church. I never realized that all the stained glass windows were still there, but you could only see them from the stage. So it helps to be super high and on the stage, and you can see all the stained glass. So that was pretty rad.
It's there for the enjoyment of the artists.
Exactly. Me staring into space, nervous, being on that big of a stage. But yeah, good times. Hey guys, thanks so much for coming out this week. Sorry, I'll be gone next week. I'll be wearing a suit and dancing at a big fancy wedding, which is pretty wild.
Hopefully we'll get
Uh,
some visuals to go on
it's
next
in
show
the
anyway.
Scottish
You
Rite
in your
Cathedral
suit.
too, Bill. It's a nice building, so I mean, it's gonna be pretty
That's not a nice building.
for Elwood City.
The Scottish Rite Cathedral smells like mildew.
Yeah.
And it has the most ancient men's room I've ever been in. It's still those old marble urinals that are hopelessly stained at the bottom, and it just stinks the minute you walk in there. It's
Well,
gross.
I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. That's where
I'm
I saw
not saying-
WrestleMania. I saw WrestleMania 5 and 6 there. On when they used to do the closed circuit things, before pay-per-view.
Yeah.
you would go to a theater. That's where I saw it, and exciting. But anyway, my friend said she's 3 kids. The other 2 probably never going to get married, so she's spending all her money on this one. So it'll be interesting. Uh, I've heard that there's a lot of medical marijuana at this wedding too, which is weird to me. So uh, I'll be
Medical
the
marijuana.
I'll be the designated driver for this, unfortunately. So I look forward to. Hopefully, Becca doesn't get as crazy as she was at the King Diamond concert that one time, where she said the next day, "How was the show?" And I was like, "Well, we left the second song because you couldn't stand up anymore."
I mean, it's not like there's a honey bear there that you could pull off into if you ate too many edibles.
No, there isn't. I know enough places in Newcastle that I could go to, though. Maybe I'll crash at Newcastle after Dark's house.
Yeah. Look up the management.
Yeah. Hey guys, please. I'll send him a message on Facebook. I need black pepper. Please help me. You know what I'm really excited about though, Bill, before we go. We're not that far from April from the movies, right?
I know. And they've been teasing movies on their Facebook page. One of them was Escape from New York. There was a profile picture of Snake Plissken, and the other one was a cover photo that was the meat locker scene and the meat freezer scene from Messiah of Evil. So, fingers crossed. You know, I've never seen Messiah of Evil on a big screen.
No, me either. So, start making your plans now to come to Vandergrift and hang out with us and drink way too much in public. Oh yeah, and Krista, they also tease Killer Clowns, which as soon as Becca saw that, Becca's like, "Well, what?" She called her brother and like, "Well, they're gonna go too." So
it's going to be a great time. We are absolutely, positively sure of that. And so is next week on the show, because we're going to have Mike Justice and Uncle Spooky with us.
Happy birthday to Tracy's birthday is Monday. Happy birthday, and Mark's birthday is Wednesday. Mark's birthday is Wednesday too. So
well, happy birthday to both of you guys.
Yeah. So,
and I hope we didn't miss anyone else's birthday in the chat. I was trying to look on Facebook, but
I looked right before we came on to make sure there was nobody else's. But if we did miss your birthday, let us know, and we will send you a wish next week.
Next week,
I'm going to miss Uncle Spooky. That's
yeah.
That's you know what I love, by the way. Whenever people we know on the show that I know they may or may not have met from our show, but I saw that what's her name, the drag entertainer was on our show. There was a picture of her with Uncle Spooky.
Coma White.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, like my worlds of New York entertainers I know have crossed over, and it gave me such a good feeling of seeing them in the same picture. I'm like, oh,
I know,
that's wonderful. It made me so happy.
All right, so we hope you'll come back and hang out with us next weekend on the show. It's going to be Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane and The Trouble with Barry, directed by Mike Justice. He'll be on the show with Uncle Spooky, and hopefully you'll be here too. So, till then, have a great week. We'll see you then.
Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian.